Hello, everyone. This is Brian Beamish, the Canadian Rational Investor, CR Investor on Twitter and TradingView. Coming to you here Monday morning. Where are we here? It is July 7th, 2014. We're fully into summer now. And man, what a nutso market. Hey, caramba. But anyway, lots of fun, lots to talk about. This is our summary video here, so it should be short and sweet. So let me get to the point. Um, all right. First and foremost, the most significant thing here is these long-standing targets of this setup were finally hit this morning. Dun, dun, dun. I've been in this short position forever for you guys here, and really, full disclosure, I don't not actually have the trade on. I'm still setting up the PAM account, which is what I've been talking about taking these setups off of. So, but I consider any trade that I make a reference to in this daily commodity or in this daily summary as a trade that I'm doing. So, and like I said, we're going to do it in the PAM account. So, even though it was a paper trade, quote unquote, I still consider it, just as valid and legit as any other. So, full disclosure, just so you guys understand, I didn't actually do the trade, but I take these setups and these trade setups seriously here, and we will be doing them with the PAM account. But having said that, I got all excited last night on Twitter when I noticed that the market had been making higher highs here and higher lows, and we were forming another one, and we had broken out of this channel here, and so I got all excited, and I said, really, it's in my best interest. I think the first tweet that I did was I said, where are we here? Well, the trade, and this was 9 hours ago, it's now 8:14 Pacific time. While the trade may be driving me crazy, it still remains in my best interest to continue to be short from 640-ish, which is sort of what I've been talking about here for the past while, if you guys are regular followers. And that's these red lines up here, because there was two sell signals you could have worked with. Here was the risk, here was the potential reward, and the trade was just working itself out. And then, antsy pants Brian, and this is such a fault of the trading community. I mean, when I was working with the boys out of Chicago at Top Step Trader, I mean, this was constant. I mean, it's not like it's out of the ordinary. But my psyche started to take over, like as this note up here says, it was 5 days of patience. And then, you see this big burst higher here. And I had been watching through the weekend, latter part of Saturday and Sunday. We first tagged the 38.2, and then your mind starts playing with you, and you're like, okay, well, maybe it's going to go back up here to 638. That would be a bullish ABCD. Which would basically be break even for me. And then, you hear in the back of your head, one of my old mentors, John Hoagland, if you ever get the opportunity to work with TST, he's just a wonderful man. But anyway, he'd always say, well, you never want to see, a winning trade turn into a losing trade, yada, yada, yada. And so, I started, actually thinking about exit strategies here through last night. And I posted just shortly after that, I said, that, I was talking about, well, it's in my best interest to remain short. I said that may change on a bullish resolution through 632. And so it just seemed to me that if we got the move through 632, it would be, a triple bottom off of a triple bottom, and your mind starts playing, okay, that's that ABCD target, and there's the OTE, yada, yada, yada. And, this is the life of a trader, right? 5-6 days into this trade, the market's just flirting with you. You're sitting on money, and the market's saying, well, maybe I'm going to pop up. So, I basically, because I had posted that tweet about 232, I was just basically going to say I had made the mental decision that if we trade it up through other, I'm just going to get out of this short. I've had enough of this torture. And really, ultimately the question is was that really in my best interest? And was it part of my trading plan? And looking back in hindsight, of course, you start kicking yourself, but then that's today's action, and we'll get on to that now. So I just wanted to give you guys an update of how my weekend went, what I was doing through the latter part of the weekend as I was tweeting away here last night. And I think ultimately I had said here, when confused by price action, best thing to do is just exit. So as I had recently tweeted, I exited the 640 short on a break of the 632 level. Yes, I booked a small profit, and again, these are all paper trades, so it's not like it was actual dollars and cents. But the long and short of it here is, I would actually look at this trade as a scratch. I won't take any comfort in it. Yes, my winning streak continues, which I find kind of amusing. There's a guy on TradingView. He's actually keeping track of these numbers. But I'm a little disappointed in myself in that I didn't stick to the plan. And really, what we see here today, and what I've been sort of talking about for quite a bit of time, was this 616 level, right? This 38.2. And if we just zoom out, and this is the 1 hour chart we're looking at here. That's the fib off of this entire range, right? And I remember even last, I guess the beginning of last week, I had made reference. I said, look, this is $100 range. We could easily give back 30, 40 of those dollars, no problem whatsoever. That would just bring us back to the 38.2. If institutions were going to buy, where would they most likely want to be buyers? Well, that still remains down in the 576 to 592 area. So that's actually below 600 bucks. So, I think that's really important for us to keep in mind. And what I see here, and this is a really cool tool I like on the TradingView site, is these price channels. And I think what happened is, through the low liquidity of the holiday weekend, they were kind of able to monkey around with the market. And I noticed that, here's July 4th, there's July 3rd. So, basically we finished last week right up in this 630 area, maybe 625, 635, right? They were able to pop it up back into that area through the weekend, and just classic fashion, they set it up here for a nice breakout higher, and I thought 632 looked like a pretty good number for it to work with, and that turned out to be a total trap. And it was really fascinating to see the trade play out, and we'll get to that in a moment. But the long and short of it here is, I had posted on the Twitter, I really didn't like this area, and if the market moved up through here, in fact, what I had said was a bullish resolution, and we actually did not get a bullish resolution. I was going to get out. But anyway, all right, so let's go on to the 15-minute here. So here's the weekend's price action. There's that rally right up. We said that dead cat bounce rally was right back to the 38.2. Then we got the pullback, and if we had gotten a bullish resolution through that, that was that bull ABCD. Let's see if we can see that. So I sort of, and I was leaning this way, which is dangerous. You really shouldn't have a bias here, but even, just conservatively, something like this. Right, so I was looking for up in this 640 area, which was where I was originally short. So what did happen? Well, we rallied up. There's that magic line there, 632. What was interesting was there was a few offers just below 632 and just above 632. And so it looked to me like they were building a bit of a wall there, but people in TradingView were like, Brian, you don't know depth. That's not a wall. And so, maybe misinterpretation of that data on my part too, So, and, if anything, today's video is a great example of, don't ever feel like you know the market 100%, because as soon as you do, the market will make a monkey out of you. All right, so long and short of it here, you can see we had and this is down to the 15-minute chart, and really this is dangerous in itself, right? We really shouldn't be trading off of these lower time frames, but anyway, we had this bullish divergence develop in MACD here. Excuse me. We had a Willie just briefly stupid condition here. Let's see if we can show that to you. Actually, no. Yeah, I think. Yeah, minus 83. Yep, we did actually get stupid, and there was a double bottom there. OBV at that point was steadily rising. It wasn't like there was some sort of panic, which we came to later. But you can see that there were higher highs and higher lows, right? So something was happening there. It was trending through the latter part of the weekend higher. And so what was really interesting was literally on this bar, and I suppose there was a tell here, right? I mean, this is the London kill zone right here. This is midnight my time here in Vancouver, which is, basically London open. And so this head fake breakout before the London Open, the London kill zone, that should have been a tell. I should have been a little more patient there before I had committed to this long idea. But woulda, coulda, shoulda. You just got to live with it. So anyway, through the, here's the breakout through that 32 level. We can draw this a little better. There you go. And what was really interesting was, okay, so the market's rocking and rolling. It was up here. And the volume, this was a big green bar. And then all of a sudden, about maybe 10 minutes into the move, it just fell apart. And sadly, it just never looked back. So what's so funny is that I tweeted, all right, I'm going to get out here, book my small profit, walk away, yada, yada, yada. And literally 5 minutes later, the market just rolled over and didn't look back. And here's the kick in the pants, right? Is that, like I said, I've been tweeting and squawking and whatevering for about a week or two now about this silly 38.2 fib on the higher time frames. And that's, let's go back to this chart. That's this one here, this 616.44. And I suppose you could also, off of the entire bottom, this 32 at 612. I mean, that's what I make my bread and butter off of. And gee whiz, that's basically what we're doing here. Now, I thought it was interesting. Here's the New York kill zone. This is where they opened up the New York market. You can see the tank before it, so, dangerous to go shorting right ahead of this. Just like it was really dangerous to buy. I mean, I certainly didn't consider this a buy signal. What I did consider it was just to, get out and sit on the sidelines. Anyway, same thing. Wouldn't consider this actually a buy level, but did hit this long-standing 38.2 fib. 616, I was squawking about it for like 3 or 4 days. 616 is my target. 616 is my target. Yada, 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 yada. And sure enough, bounced right away from there. It's still, through the kill zone, very dangerous to even think about doing a new trade here. I don't know whether we've actually bottomed here, and frankly, looking at this chart, it looks like we haven't. Here's the 200% extension of that failed range. That's down at 609. And I notice here that this 4-hour 38.2, 612.79. And, I hate to say it, here's down the OTEs all the way down here. So I really didn't do myself any favors whatsoever exiting that short position where I did. Really what I should have done is just stick with the trading plan, and I would have been talking to you this morning about 2-to-1 risk reward and being filled and yada, 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 and all happy. We did book a small profit on the paper trade, so, and I do see here on the 1 hour chart there is a bit of a gap right here at 630 area. If we look at the OTE sweet spot on the 15-minute off of that high here, that's off of this high right here, right? From here to wherever we bottom here. OTE just so happens to be at 630, so that lines up nicely with that gap right there. If I was going to do a new trade here, it would definitely be with market structure. I'd like to get a nice sell signal here on a gap fill of this level, which ironically enough, I'm probably going to put the trade right back on just about exactly where I exited. Do I have any buy signals here at the moment? Absolutely not. There's nothing here. Willie's not stupid yet. Don't see anything here. This is off the 4-hour chart. I still think it looks to me like 612.79, this 200 period moving average, maybe even the 50% level. This high here. What's this high here? This high up here, 610. Oh, there you go. So 610, those old highs, 200 period simple moving average, 609, 612, 38.2. And then interesting, like I often see in the market that price will play with this level. Doesn't necessarily mean the price is going to bottom at exactly this level. I really wouldn't be surprised over the next little bit we do something like this. So that's basically what I'm going to be looking for the next setup. So I'm probably going to be sitting on the sidelines now for, my hunch is probably the next couple days while I let this sort itself out here at the 38.2. I think you want to keep an eye on this gap here as probably an area to consider putting on new shorts if we get a half decent little sell signal up in there on momentum and volume. And really the problem here is now we're into this channel. There is a trend line that it's working with here, so that's okay. But once again, here's the OTE area way down here. Off of this move alone, from this low here, the 584 low, I don't have a new OTE long zone until there. So that's probably the area we want to keep in mind, right? And if we don't get a bottom that comes in there, then our next OTE zone is way down here, right? So a little cross on myself for getting chicken pooped and dumping the position there. Trading plan, the actual setup worked once again. So, I did book a profit, so I'm 6 for 6 now, as somebody said on TradingView, so go figure. I think the anxiety over holding this position for, I said 6 days here, and finally I got chicken and dumped it right here. I think the anxiety just got too much for me. But we'll see how it goes. I think basically these are areas to keep an eye on. I really like this 61.8 here. So if I was using a downside target, if we fail these lows, that would probably be my next stop. OTE sweet spot 605, right? And then like we said, we've got this old high here. Where's that old high? There it is. There it's 610. So that's definitely going to be a level. That's sort of my feeling here going forward. All right, I don't know how long today's video was, but hope you enjoyed it. Oh, I suppose there's one closing thought here. Litecoin has actually hit a bear ABCD target here. Put it in an interesting willy bottom here. No signs of a volume bottom yet. No real signs of a raw momentum reading bottom yet. I mean, we're getting there. It's getting closer. 27.31, 27.47. Yeah, okay, so it's there potentially. If we can get some sort of momentum reading up through these highs here, we'd have a bullish divergence on the momentum with a willy oversold condition. And first stop targets, typically 38.2 is pretty good area for look for resistance. You can see 13 EMAs up in here too. It looks like there's a little bit of a gap here. Is this a buy signal for me? No, way too early. I would hope to see something like this and then a resolution, right? But interesting. Just wanted to comment on Litecoin here in the short term. Somebody asked me about it this morning. Okay, so that's basically today's summary. Like I said, once again, the levels were correct, and 2-to-1 risk reward ratio levels were hit on the setup. But unfortunately, once again, Brian went and tinkered with the trade and ended up booking only a third of the profits that should have been booked. And trust me, that's a hallmark of my trading career. And if anything, it's maybe one habit that we can work on through these daily videos for me to get rid of, right? Because I mean, that's the best way to do it is to be honest and straightforward and keep on practicing. Ooh, looks like we're breaking down further here. So London kill zone is resolved bearishly. Certainly this isn't a new trade setup for me. Like I said, if anything, you should be taking profits on the shorts. Maybe even partial profits and just keep taking profits as we, head lower. And we got to start now seeing some constructive action here for us to start even thinking about getting bullish. It's going to be a while, that's my hunch. And we'll leave it at that. You guys have a great day and all the best, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye for now.